Before I recognize the honourable member for Abitibi-Témiscamingue, I must inform the House that there are about 6 to 7 minutes remaining for her speech, because then we will need to leave time for the right of reply. The honourable member for Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm very pleased to be able to speak on motion put forward by my honourable colleague from Chicoutimi-Le-Fjord, which seeks to fight against bullying, and this wherever it occurs. We know that this is a serious problem. The federal government must take action in this area in order to eliminate this serious problem. This problem is becoming increasingly important within our society. It impacts young people. It even exists at the elementary school level, as I've seen in my riding. In fact, in February, in an elementary school in Rwanda, concerned parents had had enough, as some 15 children out of 50 at the school did not go to school for a number of days as a sign of protest by the parents, who were concerned about the climate of bullying and of violence, and were tired of hearing promises that weren't kept. 15 of the 50 students, this is 1/3 of the school. Provinces, particularly Quebec and Ontario, are already undertaking initiatives, as well as schools and school boards, but we need more than that. This is a national problem, as we've unfortunately seen, and it has significant consequences, and we can think of suicides by young people who are aged 11, 12, 15, and 17, because they think that their suffering will never stop. We have to also understand that bullying has changed. It's no longer within the schools, and we see that it's outside the schools. It's cyberbullying and through social networks. So now young people are really being exposed to bullying that can last 24 hours a day without stopping. And I think that when you hide behind a computer screen, it's all the more easy for such behaviors to be adopted. And when we talk about cyberbullying, yes, this falls directly under the federal government's responsibility. And yes, the provinces as well. So we have to cooperate together to achieve solutions. I think that we need an action plan that's based on studies and facts that would come from families and stakeholders, victims, rights groups, and I think that is why the study of the problem in committee, as my colleague is proposing through this motion, could really help us to work on this problem and to bring forward solutions that will be good for the long term. Parents, grandparents are concerned when their children are subject to bullying. Parents often feel powerless to deal with this issue and the suffering their children are facing. I'd like to talk to you about somebody from my riding of Rwanda, who is a veteran of the Second World War and who is heavily involved in Abitibi-Témiscamingue to find solutions. One of his grandchildren was a victim of bullying, and he came to talk to me about the importance of putting in place real solutions and involving the entire community in this issue. And he said currently it's as if we were putting pots underneath the leaks in our roof, and that's exactly what we need to do here. Is we have to take action, and we also have to prepare a real solution. He understood that it was important for all of the stakeholders to work together to find a solution in order to take action and do everything to change forever these situations. Suicides by young people have been talked about a great deal and have brought together politicians. Everybody says it's not acceptable, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. The majority of people who are victims don't talk about it and have not gone to the media. They suffer from serious issues such as depression, anxiety, and sleeplessness. Some of them suffer the consequences of bullying for the rest of their lives. Tommy Thibodeau from De La Salle was a victim of bullying throughout his youth. Today he is the author of a book, Entre l'ombre et la lumière, Between Shadows and Light, and he talks in schools in the region in order to address the issue of bullying. He's dared to talk about it, and a lot of people recognize themselves when he talks. He experienced it, and survived, but other people don't have this opportunity, and his experience could help young people and schools to adopt effective measures to fight against bullying, and that's what this motion proposes to do. We need to deal with those who are committing the bullying. The federal government has a role also to play and has to lead the way. As I say, the victims of bullying can suffer from mental health issues, chronic depression, and even may continue throughout their adult lives. The bulliers as well have other problems. They might have family problems. In order to fight against bullying, we have to have tools to help both those who bully and those who suffer from bullying. In some cases, those who are bullying were formerly bullied themselves, and this was the only solution they themselves found. We need a national strategy to fight against bullying and cyberbullying. We need to bring together all the stakeholders and talk about best practices across the country in order to provide parents, institutions, and organizations with the best effective tools possible. And we have to support the workers on the ground, and that is why I will support tirelessly my colleague's motion, the member from Chicoutimi-Lefjord, because I think it's high time to find a long-term solution and to take the time to think and to build something for the future of our young people.
J'invite